welcome to What's Growing at CMC, the weekly segment where I, Daniel,
and I, Talasha, share about some of the ways God is working at and through College Mennonite Church.
We hear that many of you are finding ways to reach out to each other with greetings, notes of appreciation, and other encouragement.
Keep it up. We all need that right now.
Catherine shared that when the Harvest Abundance Swap was canceled, she found a way to share the work of her year anyway.
She took an autumn-colored macrame to Ivy.
Soon, you'll see a picture of Ivy using it to play dress-up.
Mario Wenger was recently inspired to take out an old hobby.
He began whittling when he was about 10.
Mario shares that he dug out the skill from the attic of his mind and dusted it off and created.
Soon you'll see pictures of the interlocking puzzle he made.
Some of you may know about Walter Schmucker's incredible gardening skills.
Well, apparently, he's also good at tree transplanting.
He recently moved a white pine from Catherine Ashelman's home to Arbor Ridge.
And of course, you'll see a picture of that in a moment too.
The Love Shack has made national news.
For several years, the Kuplichty family has had a free food pantry at their house.
Many of us from the church have supported it and benefited from it.
The Love Shack not only helps feed a community, it also has been a way for relationships to be built.
Dan and Jill know their community well and give not just food, but friendship and dignity.
Channel 22 WSBT recently did a story on the Love Shack.
And it was picked up by CBS Sunday Morning.
The Love Shack already inspired Liz and Rodolfo's Little Free Pantry.
And now we hope it can inspire others around the nation.
Guess what? It's Advent!
Hooray! Today marks the first Sunday of Advent.
If you missed picking up supplies last week, no worries.
They'll be out again today, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, under the canopy at the church.
Come get your wreath, candles, and a print copy of the Advent Guide.
Or you can download the guide using the link sent in your Thursday email.
In our Song and Story segment last Sunday, we talked about favorite celebrations.
Yes, we did. And several of you mentioned the Christmas pageant and the Christmas Eve service.
And we hinted that soon we would reveal the plan for these.
Well, here you go. Here's the plan.
Mark your calendars for Christmas Eve, December 24, at 7 p.m.
At that time, curl up with your favorite hot drink and flip your radio on to 91.1 The Globe or 104.3 Radio Horizonte.
Both of which will be broadcasting CMC's first ever Christmas Eve radio show.
This fully bilingual service will combine the familiar elements of our usual lessons and carols service with a radio show format.
But that's not all.
You'll be snuggled in, drinking your hot beverage, but toward the end of the service, you'll grab a candle and bundle into your car.
Flipping that radio on, of course.
And you'll drive to the church parking lot.
You'll arrive just in time to step out of your car, light your candle, and sing Silent Night together.
Our cars helpfully keeping the requisite distance apart.
And that is how we will have Christmas Eve together.
A few days after that, on December 27, you'll tune into worship as usual.
But if you usually listen on the radio, you might want to consider watching on live stream this time.
And you may want to gather a few costumes and props in preparation.
So that you can participate in last year's Christmas pageant, which will be most of the worship service that airs this year.
We considered a lot of different ways to do the pageant, and in the end, this seemed the most effective.
And the most likely to help us connect with that joy that is buried deep inside us.
We usually would continue from the pageant into a celebration Sunday with all kinds of ways to dive into the Christmas story.
We will be sending out ideas of ways that you can do some of those things at home this year.
Advent, the season of anticipation, is here.
As Brian Moyer Suderman puts in one of his songs, there's a new world coming. It's already here.
We remember the past as we live in the present and anticipate the future.
Because we serve a God who holds all of us and all of that all at once.
God was, God is, and God will be.
Thanks be to God.
Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing, there's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God. Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing, there's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God. Reaping and sowing, planting and hoeing, there's something showing, popping up through the sod. The Spirit's blowing, new life we're knowing, giving and growing in the garden of God.